So, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you like the video, click on the thumbs up. Also, click on the bell down below to get new videos and new notifications. Hope everybody's having a good day, good evening, and a good morning. Anyway, so as you guys have seen in part 1, my first video of the red ring of death symptoms, the e74 symptoms, here's that console. So this is the Xbox that got, well, 2 red rings in one video. So it went from, it was standing up like this, I'll set it down here, and this corner right here, I believe, yeah, this corner here will light up red and flash, just 1 ring, and it was, the first time it said e73, which is the central processing unit, which is the CPU, had bad solder underneath it, and then it went from that to an e74, which then means that the GPU also has faulty solder underneath it. So it finally got an e73 again, then I went to shut off and turn on, and it also got the e74 once again. So what we're going to do is do our best to get this Xbox up and running. So I got this kind of, this is the type of CPU grease I use. This one's kind of dirty. Let me find a nicer one, a nicer shape so you can see that a bit better. There we go. So that's the stuff I use. Hopefully you guys can read that. Okay. So it's a white silicone based CPU compound. Now to unclip the console, I use my trusty Samsung SIM remover tool. I got Torx 10 and Torx 8 screwdriver. I also got a flathead screwdriver. And then, beside the camera here, I'll bring it up front here because I'm going to need it. In the Tupperware that I just set in front here that you may not be able to see very easily, right in this Tupperware here is isopropyl cleaning alcohol, 99%. So I'm going to, oh yeah, and also right beside there I also have these Q-tips. So I can, clean the processors and the heat sinks and all that. So we start by, I like to put my fingernails underneath this part and then pull it off. Because if you push in here and pull it out, that'll break the hinge. And that's why this has no hinge anymore. So what you do is you just give fingernails underneath the little opening in here. Give a little bit of a pull. And off it is. As you can see, that's the part there. As you can see, this console, here, let me bring it up front. Let me bring it close here so you can see this. This right here is an original Microsoft warranty sticker that was on there. This kind of seal, if you see a seal over here, the console has been serviced by Microsoft, and that's not an original seal. So if you have a seal here, that's not original. And if it's a wider seal, see how it's a skinny silver seal? If it's a wider one than that that's over here, then that's not original. So the skinny little one here is 100% original. It's already cut because I've had this open before, so everybody knows this has been taken apart. Also, this is the console that has no tag in the back. Those 2 tags are missing. The client that donated the system took the tags off and forgot. She forgot that what the tags were, and it ended up getting mixed in with some other stuff and got thrown away. So then the tags are no longer there. It has one of those. It has a serial number there, but I'm not sure if that's. I'm pretty certain that's the original serial number. So anyway, so I'm just going into the side and I'm removing the little clips. So I'm just gonna do that. And this one's been apart before, so it might just come apart nice and easily. So, see the joy of having a little SIM card remover. This came off nice and easily. As you're gonna see, all the tabs, they're all there, and it's in good shape. There should be barely any dust. Just gonna move my chair over here, this other chair, so I can set my parts over here. I like to set them down there, it's a lot easier. So on the side, here's what it looks like. See how nice and clean that is too? There's no dirt or dust. Oh, and what I forgot to say at the beginning of the video too is if you want to leave some comments down below and ask questions, or let me know what kind of videos you want me to post, like what kind of repairs, music video, like instrument playing videos with like the accordion and stuff, and other repair videos, let me know. Or just plain old disassembly and reassembly on electronics too. So eventually I'm gonna be getting my hands on a PS4, so we'll be able to dismantle that. So that'll be a video too. And here's that other panel. Has all the clips on one side, all the clips on the other. See, I took it apart nicely so it's not gonna break. And don't worry if some of those tabs break, the panels will still work. So of course we have all the tabs that are, you know, right here that need to get popped apart for the case to come apart. So I'm just gonna, on video here, pop them. Nice and easy, put a little pressure with my finger, and that's it, it's popped apart. As you can see there, it is popped apart, okay? So I'm just gonna do that exact same thing with the other side and we'll get her apart. So, it may sound like you're breaking the Xbox when you pop these clips, but you're not breaking the console, it's just the way it sounds. Unless you're trying to break it, then that's different. But if you're not trying to break it and it makes those clicking sounds, that's not a bad thing, that's just seals releasing, the little clips releasing. So right here, we have these clips in the front, one there, there, and there, and of course here. So I'm just gonna pop those now. And if you have fingernails, don't like ratch up on your finger using your fingernails too hard, but just a little bit of a pull in. Just like that, panels off. So I have not did any kind of screw mod or anything, as you can see. All the screws are there, the little ones here, the long screws, those ones there, all the screws are there, okay? So now I'm gonna pull my little eject button, I'm gonna pull it off, and the eject button now is off. Alright, so I'm gonna set this down gently. And we're gonna begin to take out the T10 screws. So there's 6 of them. 6 of the long ones and then 9 of the shorter grass colored ones. So these 2008 model consoles, from 2007 to 2008, they have glue around the GPU and CPU. I've already removed that. And as soon as I removed that glue, well, it started having the red ring symptoms a lot worse. So that's telling me that this thing needs to be reballed, but what we're doing today is we're reflowing it, but I'm really going to reflow it. And what I mean by that is I'm going to get it really hot to the point where the solder should liquefy. So if that doesn't, what I'm about to do doesn't liquefy it, I don't know what will. So besides, you know, having a reworking station and all special types of flux and all that other jazzy stuff. So I'll take the rest. Might as well take all the screws up, right? So we got our little, these are the small ones I'm talking about. Nice tiny little screws. So there's about 9 of those little screws, okay? So I may just buy myself a new Xbox too, like a replacement. But I thought, why not give it a shot, see how the console does after being really reflowed. Like reflowed is, you know, hopefully this doesn't kill it, because if it does, then I don't have any other Xboxes, just this. So I'm gonna try not to Well, I actually I do have a parts only console, but that one's missing the DVD drive, and you can't just swap DVD drives, so that's a bit of an issue. So I couldn't even connect to the internet with that one because it needs the drive to update. So that's kind of a fail right there. Okay, so I got all the T10 screws out. Okay, as you can see, they're all out. So now it's time to take out the T8 screws, holding the heat sinks down. And I like to, I tighten them fairly nicely. I don't over tighten them, but I tighten them to where, they will hold and they won't loosen off. Because if they're not fully tightened in, tight enough, then they loosen off over time. Now the X clamps in these consoles can lose their tension over time, even with the screws are tight enough and whatever else. So, but this is an official 2008 console. But when the 2008 Xbox 360 Arcade first came out, so it's gonna have the video RAM underneath the board and all that. And then the ones in the mid 2008 then no longer had video RAM chips underneath the board. No more thermal pads or any of that stuff. So, unless you get the lucky console that has those, but this is in a long time, this is one of the first ones I've seen for 2008 with video RAM underneath the board. So, yeah, take off our panel, upper panel, and this one was made in April 2008. Unplug a few things. So here's our DVD drive. I'm just gonna unplug the cables from it. This is an unusual type DVD drive because most of the 2007s from 2005 2007 would have these kind of drives. This has the board in this drive. Most of them are a little small square board that comes about right here, like that. This one goes all the way across. So as you can see here, I'll show you up close here. See right there, that's PCB circuitry. Other side, get close enough. More PCB circuitry. This one goes 100% all the way across. It's like all the way across there for the circuit board. So this is a, oh yeah, and then I was gonna show you the drive here. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to read that, but it definitely says April 2008. But yeah, it looks like a newer drive, but it has one of the older type circuit boards in it that goes all the way across, and of course they put a little bit newer chips on that board, so the DVD drive isn't easy to crap out and have the DVD drive issues that lots of 2007s and ones before that had, where you click the button, the green light would blink once, and then it wouldn't open. So if you press it several times, then it would finally open. But once it opened, you put the disc in and went to close it. As soon as it closes, it would reopen by itself. And if you shut the system off, it would close and then reopen and stay open when the system shut off. So that kind of issue this one won't ever have because of that newer design on the bigger circuitry that they did there. So here's our fan trap, nice and clean. No dust, no dirt. I'm gonna have to take all the parts out of the Xbox because we're gonna use the Xbox chassis to set the board on so I can do the heating. So here's our fans. So you can see they're pretty clean. We have a little bit of dust there, but barely any. So now what we're left with is this. As you can see, everything is just shining, and there's our RF module and our USB ports, and then our memory card slots and stuff. So this Xbox is actually in really nice shape. It's just that it has faulty solder underneath the CPU and underneath the GPU. So I need to address it, and I'm just gonna put the alcohol cleaner right about there. So I'm probably gonna hang on to this Xbox just because it's the only one I actually really got. Like I said, I had a parts one, but it's just another parts Xbox, but it's just the main board. I don't got the rest of it. I actually don't even have the chassis like this metal case. All I got is just the board. So honestly, even if I was to try to swap those boards, this main board with that one, it still wouldn't work. So that one's just there for me to pull the GPU off it, CPU, other parts off the board to put on another board. Of course, you got to make sure the board's the right board, because if one's a Jasper and one's a Xenon or one's a Falcon, you can't just, they both have to be the exact same model board. So, and I think this is a Jasper model. I'll have to look at the GPU on it. Anyway, so here's our RF module. Okay. All right. Now the fun part. The caddy, or chassis, sorry. The chassis can go like this. And remember the video RAM I was talking about? Right there. The video RAM chips. Most 2008s don't have those on the bottom. This one does. This is a very first 2008. So as you can see, the chips are there. When I first took this apart, there was thermal pads under there. I got rid of those right away, because the thermal pads actually cause a problem with the console. Normal 3 red rings of death is caused by the video RAM underneath the board, not the stuff on top, stuff underneath, most of the time. So these 4 chips have faulty solder under them, and when that happens, that causes a 3 red ring, and most of the 3 red rings are either a 0110 or a 0102, and that's about the only ones that I see. And the 0110 and 0102, even 0103, that's faulty video RAM underneath the board, not the GPU, not the CPU or HANA chip or any of that on the top of the board, on the bottom here. Keep those up, not too hot, but just warm enough. Turn on your console, it'll work. So it's the video RAM underneath there on those ones. But this one, it's not the video RAM, it's actually up here. So this one's having what is that one? 1022 and 1021. So once again, the e73 secondary error code is 1021, and the e74 secondary error code is 1022, which this console has had several times. So we're about to fix that. Hopefully, fix it for a while, because the reset. So what I'm doing right now is releasing the X clamps. Or trying to. Okay, so there's one of them. This one right here is released. See, it's lifted up there. So I just gotta do the same thing for the rest of them, just pull them off. I just don't want to kill the main board. There we go. There we are. X clamp is off. Scissors out of my way. There. So You know, see there's some CPU grease there on there. It's actually not that bad. From what I'm seeing though, I thought I cleaned the old grease off the heat sinks and the wow, yeah, I haven't cleaned the here, let me show you what I'm talking. See, there's new grease there, but underneath it, there's old Arctic Silver 5 grease, or fake silver grease is what I call it, because Microsoft does not use real silver grease on these consoles. They use the fake stuff, which is why another reason why these consoles are becoming so faulty. There's so many of them that break down because exactly of that. You know, they do that so their customers have to send out the system and pay a lot of money to get them fixed. But when you know someone like me or other repairs, you get done for a lot cheaper. And they don't even repair the consoles either way. Microsoft, all they do is they look at it, go, okay, it has a red ring. They may, what they do is, what lots of people on YouTube already know, is the towel trick, or they just unplug the fans or put stuff, little Q-tips in where the fans are to stop them from spinning. And that kind of fix does not last very long. So the proper fix is reflowing the board, and it usually will last around a couple weeks or so, with this one at least. Other ones can last a lot longer, up to like a month or so. But if you reball the GPU and the CPU, it can last for like a year or more. So I got the other X clamp off. Let me see if same problem. Same thing. Check that out. You guys see the old silver grease? We're gonna be cleaning that off. So, other than that, everything's nice and clean. So I'm looking at this GPU, and this is a Jasper board. This main board has a Jasper GPU. Now let me show you what a Jasper, dang alcohol cleaning solutions in the way again. So Jasper GPU is where right here. Let's see, am I pointing to the right? No, I'm not. Right here, the little chips that go all the way across, all the way down. That's a Jasper model. So this is a Jasper board, and honestly, I haven't seen too many Jasper Xbox 360s fail like this. So this one definitely has failed. So we'll see. We'll see what can be done. So right now, what I'm gonna do is get some Q-tips, and we're gonna do a nice alcohol cleaning to the graphics processor and then the CPU. Oh man, this is bad. This GPU is just caked. That could be another overheating problem, is where the old grease isn't cleaned off. So then the new grease you put on, just once it heats up, it just leaks off the mirrors, the dies, what I call them, and okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab cloth. It'll make life much easier. All right. Okay, guys. So I got a cleaning cloth here. We're gonna try to clean the main board here as good as I can. That's definitely doing a lot quicker and better job. Just gotta make sure you don't pull any of the components off the GPU, or else you're in real trouble when you do that. Because if you do that, you might as well buy another Xbox, because those components are very, very, very important. You don't want to knock them off. And if you manage to knock one off or you don't damage the solder pads on the GPU, you could just solder, or if you have a reflow station, you can reflow the resistor back into place, or a little cap. Oh, but I warn you, you're taking this at your own risk. But most of the fixes I do actually pull through, and usually the console comes back to life, you know. So this old silver grease off right now. And it's flaking off. It's that dried out. I'm trying to get it out of here, and it's without it getting on the I'm gonna use a Q-tip. It'll be a lot easier. Yep, that was right. A lot easier for sure. So this Xbox is pretty well messed up. And definitely it having that old grease on there still wasn't helping the new grease that I put in. So all I'm doing right now, if you guys are wondering what I'm doing, is I'm just cleaning the old grease off the GPU and getting it ready to get it ready for the official cleanup and reflow. So this old grease is pretty brutal. It's coming off though. That's a good thing. Now, I do recommend you really clean this well. Just better things will happen if you do this. Better heat transformation to the heat sinks. Don't overdo the CPU grease, which is, I have a little too much in here, so don't do what I did with the grease with putting too much in. I'm gonna put the right amount in this time. So I'll show you guys what the GPU looks like now. I'm gonna have to do more of a cleaning on it, but here's what the GPU looks like. This one here. That's what she looks like. See how the chips go all the way across right here? That tells me that this is a Jasper board. But yeah, see, it's a lot cleaner. So while I'm doing that, I'm gonna also clean oh man, the CPU, which is just cake. I didn't realize I put that much CPU compound in there. It's coming off though, so hopefully it's Xbox rebuild here. Hopefully it comes back and actually will last without having to be actually reballed completely, because I've tried to reball a console, and because I don't have the right equipment, I kind of burnt that console out permanently. Because I bubbled the GPU and the CPU, and it was just a mess. So that one ended up being a fail, but that was just an old white Xbox like this, so I wasn't too worried. But if it's a special limited edition one, then that would be different. You don't want to mess those up, because those are cool consoles, collector's items, and you want to keep collector's items as good shape as you possibly can. So yeah, eventually the old 360s will be collector's items, you know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just getting our CPU here ready. So now CPU looks pretty darn nice. show you the CPU now. There's the CPU. You can see how nice that CPU looks. There's a graphics processor looking not bad. So now what I'm gonna do is gonna polish the dies up, and that die is those mirrors. That's what they're called, properly called, as the die. So I'm just gonna try to get a nice mirrory reflection. You want to have a reflection of yourself in the die, because if you don't, then there's still old grease on there, and I'm telling you right now, it's coming off, but that was on there pretty bad. So that's most likely what's going on is it's overheating due to the new grease not mixing very well with the old, and caused the red ring that the console had to get only worse until the console needed to be opened up here. So I'm gonna actually switch from this cloth to Q-tips because it's a lot easier to clean the alcohol cleaner. Sorry if you guys can't see the top of the Xbox here. I don't have a, I'm using my phone as a camera here. So I don't got one of those tripods where you can have your phone leaning downwards or whatever. So get this all polished right up. And then when I put the new grease in, it's gonna stay fresh. It's not gonna get mixed up and, you know, not transfer the heat properly in that. There's still gunk on the little die right here on the GPU, so we're gonna get that polished some more. Yeah, it's pretty bad. What I'm liking though on the CPU, the die hasn't changed color, and if it does that, then you know that the CPU is pretty much burnt right out. So then at that point, you need to pull the GPU off, get the exact same model GPUs, the exact same serial number, everything has to match, and you know, the solder balls that they put on there when you buy them, they're lead free. So you want to pull those solder balls off the new CPU, put fresh leaded solder balls on, seat them, then put the CPU on and everything like that. Make sure you clean the old solder off the main board before seating the new CPU. It makes life a lot easier. So, trying to clean even just doing this may have brought this Xbox back to working order, but I'm still gonna reflow it to be absolutely certain, and make absolutely certain that the console isn't gonna become, you know, 100% faulty again. So anyhow, I'm hoping the Xbox is gonna work for a long time, because I got payments, you know, to do, so I can't really afford to be buying several Xboxes. Um, so this is going. This is going very well, you guys. Not a problem whatsoever with cleaning all this up. I'm looking at our CPU, it looks good. Looking at the GPU, it's looking good. Let me show you guys what they look like now. See how they have that nice reflection and everything. You can see the reflection there. See that reflection? That's how shiny and how clean you really want this. If you don't do it that clean, can it work for a while? A little bit not, perfect? Yeah, it can. But if you want the best performance, I highly recommend doing that real nice cleaning. So now before I get into anything, I'm going to clean the heat sinks too. So I can get that out of the way. I'm telling you right now, this grease is just nasty. These heat sinks are just filthy, man. Look how filthy that heat sink looks. Look how bad that looks. So I'm going to clean this old grease off. I use this special tool to scrape the grease off nice and carefully. Destroy the heat sink. It's easy to destroy heat sinks this way. If you're not gentle enough, you can actually really cause heavy damage to a few light scratches ain't gonna harm nothing, but if you put deep scratches in, then you're gonna cause the real problems to the heatsink, and they're not gonna really work that well, or maybe not even work at all. Okay. Alright guys, so just right now, you guys, just polishing up the heatsink a bit, trying to give it a nice, half decent cleaning. Now this is the CPU heatsink, so it's not going to be as bad as the. Oh man, that's gross. You're gonna have to see what I'm seeing here. Okay, well that's as good as it's gonna get. So this is it. This is actually as good as that's gonna get for cleaning right there. So there's the CPU one ready. But look at look at what came off of that heatsink. Look at the black right here. See that? That came off that heatsink. There's no wonder it's overheating and having issues. Here's the GPU one. As you can see, it's a lot worse than the CPU one. So I mean, the Xbox 60 may be an old console, but it's still a fun system to game on. lots of you watching my video will agree with me. And if you use the Xbox 360 and play games and watch movies on the old Xbox 360, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll message you back. So, major mistake, always clean the old CPU grease off the heat sinks and off the GPU and CPU. But be careful when you do that. There's old stuff. There's exactly why this console is overheating. Even though I've reset it several times, I've reflowed it, this is why. Because it's not able to transfer the heat correctly. Grease off. So now this is what it looks like after I scraped it off. It looks a lot better. So now, I really like this little tool that I got right here. This tool, it comes in so handy. That's also good to put between a screen and really carefully remove cell phone tablet screens. Just very delicately, you know. Because I mean, ribbon cables will tear. You can crack the screen. You can actually cut into the actual display itself with removing screens off certain phones. So you want to be careful doing that. But you know what? You know, sometimes lots of phones are just fried and can't be fixed. But the phone I'm using right now, the client that donated this phone took it to an Apple store, and the Apple store, the Apple Geek Squad themselves couldn't fix it. And they were saying it's never going to turn on again. It's never going to work. It's totally fried. It's shot. There's just no way it can work. Well, all it was a VCC main and capacitor on VCC main, and the backlight cap were shorted. So I fixed those, replaced them, and I'm using the phone right now, and it's fine. So, and it was also water damage, so it's fully water damaged. So I serviced the phone 100%, and well, by all means, I got a good phone. So if you have a water damaged phone, and you know, take your chances on fixing it if you're not wanting to risk your phone with you taking it apart yourself. You could always send it down my way if you're in Canada. And you could always email me at my email, which is justinfunk1991@gmail.com. Once again, that's justinfunk1991@gmail.com. If you want to send me an email and let me know what kind of phone you have, what has happened to it, and you know, fix it for you. And if I can't get it to work, I'll send it right back to you. All I can say right now, a diagnostic and time and labor on a non-repairable phone is $30, but if it gets fixed, then it's a little more money. So, you know, and not just phones, anything like laptops, tablets, iPods, solid state hard drives, you know, stuff like that. Because data recovery is one thing I can definitely do. Lots of times I succeed really well on that. And again, there's been so many things I've actually repaired that Apple has literally said, "Oh, that's never gonna work ever again," and I got it to work. You know, and not just phones. I'm talking like hard drives and stuff like that too. Like, oh, that hard drive's never gonna run again. It's watered down. It's shot. Well, guess what? I got those hard drives to work, and the owner got their information back, all their data. So, and I'm talking about solid state drives, like the big solid state drives, and then the little more skinnier, newer ones. Those ones, not a standard hard drive with the mechanical stuff in there. You know, you need a vacuum sealed room and all the special stuff to work on those ones, but not a solid state drive. So guys, this is as good as I'm gonna get it. As you can see, it's a lot better, a lot cleaner. So we got our heat sinks nice and good and clean as they'll get. So now it is time for me to reflow this board. So I'm gonna put my lid back on my IPA here and push this forward. And it is time to reflow this board. So, and there will be on this console, there'll be a part 2 where I reassemble it because I'm going to have to let it sit for about 45 minutes, something like that, to let it fully cool down because I don't want it to get hot and overheat and have real issues. So, get my heat gun here. Now I'm gonna get this thing as hot as I can without, burning components. Can I still see it in the picture? I'll bring this back a little farther. You know what? I'll bring it a little close so you can see the board better. So this is a regular heat gun, you guys. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just getting in to where the solder balls are on the CPU. Whoop, I accidentally clicked it off. Hold it right there. There we go. So I'm going to warm the whole board up and allow the board to not bow or anything like that. If you keep the whole board warm and everything, you won't have to worry about use my other hand here. So I can hear the solder. You can hear like little crackling, popping sounds. That's totally a good thing. It's not bad. Just make sure you're like I am with the heat gun, not way too close. You can get a little bit closer like that, but no closer than that. And just heat it up nice and hot. But not to a point where you're going to start burning stuff up. Switch hands again. I can really hear the crackling sounds of the solder reliquefying and reconnecting. So this had a lot of faulty solder underneath the GPU and the CPU. I'm going to hit the HANA chip with some heat too. just to be certain, I'm going to warm the whole board up and all the chips on it, just for the fun of it. Because maybe, if I get it hot enough, so I can now start feeling extreme heat coming off the board, but as you can notice, I'm doing a pattern here. I'm going forward. So I'm just trying to get this nice and hot. So I don't know. All I'm doing right now is just hoping this thing comes back to life. You know? So it's definitely heating up, you guys. So now the CPU's turn to get baked. The red ring of death is one of those things where, you know, it can be fixed, but it tends to show up again afterwards. So I'm really trying to whoop, see what I just did there? Try not to do that. I'm going to carefully move this back. And because of that, I'm going to reflow everything again, just to make sure. So we're just reflowing it some more. We're trying to liquefy the solder. So I'm trying not to hit or bump the board, because that is a no-no. Because if you do that and it actually is fully liquefied, the GPU and CPU can actually move out of place, and then you have a lot of fun to do after that. You'll definitely be reballing it, because you won't have a functional Xbox till that happens. So I'm just reflowing this entire board. So there's a lot of heat coming off of this right now. It's like really hot. So this is to a point where I pretty sure the solder underneath the GPU and the CPU here have reliquefied to a point where I'm gonna hit the hammer circle a little bit just to make sure the hammer circle gets reset. Make sure everything gets heat. Oops. I did that again, so guess what? Well, it's not liquefied, or it's just on the stage. I've got to be more careful, you guys. So we're almost there. Alright. And that is it, you guys, for the reflow. That is more than hot enough. So now she just needs to, like, has a lot of heat coming off that. So much heat that I can hold my hand right here and feel heat just radiating off it. So if that hasn't reflowed it, I don't know what will. Yeah, you can hear like the click, 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 and that's all the little broken portions of the solder balls reconnecting and going back together perfectly. So anyway, guys, that's the end of this video. Part 2 is going to be coming up in 45 minutes. Alright, we'll see you guys soon.